Welcome back to the Making the Madness YouTube channel. Sean back again for another video. This one is about some pretty big news, expected news, but it's worth making a video on, I feel like. And it's Drew Timme, the first team All-American last season for Gonzaga, is returning for his junior season in Spokane, Washington. That was announced today via a press release from the Gonzaga official Twitter account. And that's pretty big news, obviously, because Timme last year, first team All-American, 19 points a game, 8 rebounds per game, 65% from the field, went 6 for 21 from deep, and we'll get into that in a moment on why that's likely what he's going to have to improve upon. But he was probably going to be a late second-round pick if he got drafted, but probably would have been a two-way contract kind of guy if he entered the draft this year. He found himself in a position similar to what Luka Garza was in last season, because not often do you have guys that nearly win National Player of the Year, which if Luka Garza didn't have an otherworldly performance this year, Drew Timme could have won National Player of the Year. It's feasible to think that's a scenario. Probably would have been Corey Kispert or Cade Cunningham, but it easily could have been Drew Timme because he's a first-team All-American. He's one of the 5 best players in the entire sport last year. So to think that that guy, who's a first-team All-American, was the leading scorer for a team that went 31-0 before losing in the national championship game to Baylor and going 31-1, is returning for another season is pretty incredible. He had 30 points in an NCAA tournament game last season, had 20 in 2 other games, struggled in the national championship game. His weaknesses on the defensive end got shown a lot. He got switched onto Davion Mitchell quite a few times, and Mitchell got easy baskets off it because he was just too athletic for Timme. And here's the thing with Drew Timme. He's not ever going to be a great defender. He's not the best athlete in the world, but he's super high IQ. He's a really good offensive player. His ball handling ability for a guy that's 6'10" and not the best athlete in the world is pretty incredible, the way he's able to navigate his way inside the lane. His footwork is some of the best I have ever seen from a big man inside. His ability to create space and just get by other defenders that might be more strong or more athletic than him is pretty incredible, and that's why he's such a good player. But I think he's going to improve a lot in his shooting this season from deep. Went 6 for 21 last season, like I said. He has a solid-looking shooting form. I know he's been putting in that work this offseason. The form is there. I think he's going to be able to hit them. He gets left open quite a bit. So if he's going to be able to show that he's a threat from the perimeter, that makes him even more dangerous. Like, this is the kind of guy that averaged 19, and he didn't really shoot the ball from deep last season. The way the game of basketball is today, big men are expected to be able to shoot the ball from deep. It's not really a thing that it's a plus if you can do it. It's, you're not going to be as good as you can be if you don't shoot the ball from outside. And for Timme to be on NBA radars as a legitimate prospect, he's going to have to show that he's capable of hitting those shots from outside. And I think he's certainly going to be able to do that this season. I'm not saying he's going to shoot 40% from deep like Luka Garza did last year, but can he go 30 for 100 or something, get like a solid 30% on decent volume? That's possible. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I guess that wouldn't be 30%. I'm pretty sure 30 for 90 would be 30%. I'm bad at math, so, whatever to equal 30%, 30 makes, that's what I see Drew Timme potentially doing. He's going to put in that work this offseason, and having a guy like Chet Holmgren next to him, a guy that's 7 foot, can shoot the ball from outside, that can only help his game, and I think they're definitely going to benefit each other because their skill sets are just going to be too much for opposing defenses to deal with. And I've spoken at length about how good this Gonzaga team is going to be, but this just solidifies that they're the clear number 1 team in the country next season because you have a starting 5 of likely Andrew Nembhard, who is going to be an All-American candidate, Hunter Sallis, a top 10 recruit. At the 3, you can then go Julian Strawther, more than likely there. At the 4, you're going to go Chet Holmgren. At the 5, you're going to go Drew Timme. Off the bench, Rozier Bolton, who averaged 15 a game at Iowa State last season. Nolan Hickman, a 5-star recruit. Caden Perry, a top 60 recruit. Ben Gregg, a top 50 recruit last year. Anton Watson, who played a pretty key role this season for Gonzaga. He's going to be back once again. Dominic Harris, who's a top 70 recruit last season. This team's just stacked from top to bottom. They have an elite head coach, and they already have 3 pretty marquee non-conference games scheduled against Texas, Alabama, and Duke. All could be top 10 preseason teams. Gonzaga's in for another huge season. They're going to be the preseason number 1 team. Drew Timme is going to be the preseason National Player of the Year, as he should be. I've been the biggest Drew Timme guy on Twitter probably ever. So I'm pretty thrilled about this news. I think that Gonzaga is going to be really good once again. The WCC should be vastly improved. BYU is going to be good, assuming Alex Barcelo is back. Loyola Marymount's improved a ton. Cameron Shelton's going to be one of the best guards in the conference, and Elijah Scott is back for another season. I think that overall, when you look at this, I think that Gonzaga, there's just no argument for anybody else. I've said this multiple times. There's no argument for anybody else being the number one team. And I said the only way I could see it is if UCLA returned both Johnny Juzang and Chris Smith. I don't think that's going to happen, but even if it does, I think Gonzaga is the number one team in the country next season. Can they finally get over that hump and hoist the national championship trophy in April next season? We'll see what ends up happening, but like and subscribe to this video if you enjoyed. Much more content, including Gonzaga content, as we get closer to the start of the season. Have a good like and subscribe, and have a good one.